First contact and betrayal. In the crystalline void of deep space, the human science vessel Aurora drifted silently through the Carina Nebula, its sleek hull reflecting the cosmic dance of newborn stars. Captain Sarah Chen stood at the observation deck, her dark eyes fixed on the swirling gases that painted the cosmos in shades of purple and blue. 20 years of space exploration had not dulled her wonder at the universe's majesty. "Captain, we're picking up unusual energy signatures from Sector 7. Lieutenant Marcus Rodriguez called from his station, his fingers dancing across the holographic interface. "It's unlike anything in our database." Sarah straightened her uniform, a subtle smile playing at the corners of her mouth. This was why they were out here, to discover the unknown. "Plot an intercept course, Lieutenant." "Dr. Hassan, what do your readings tell us?" Dr. Amira Hassan, the ship's lead xenophysicist, was already analyzing the data streams. "The energy pattern suggests artificial origin, Captain. But the complexity, it's far beyond anything humanity has achieved." The Aurora altered course, its quantum drives humming with barely contained power. As they approached the source, the crew's excitement was palpable. First contact. The words hung unspoken in the recycled air of the bridge. The source revealed itself as a massive structure, a lattice of dark metal and pulsing energy that seemed to fold space around itself. As they watched, portions of the structure began to shift and transform, revealing an opening that beckoned like the maw of some cosmic beast. "Captain." Communications Officer Yuki Tanaka's voice carried an edge of uncertainty. "We're receiving a transmission. It's decoding now." The bridge speakers crackled to life with a series of harmonious tones that slowly resolved into words. "Greetings, vessels of Earth. We are the Kraxan. We have been watching your species with great interest." Sarah felt a chill run down her spine despite the warmth in the alien voice. 2 decades of exploration had taught her to trust her instincts. "Maintain our distance, Helm. Open a channel." "This is Captain Sarah Chen of the HFY Aurora. We come in peace, seeking knowledge and understanding." The response was immediate. "Your quest for knowledge is admirable, Captain. We invite you to dock with our station. We have much to share with humanity." Sarah exchanged glances with her senior staff. This was the moment humanity had been waiting for. Confirmation that we weren't alone, and an invitation to learn from an advanced civilization. Yet something felt wrong. "Thank you for your generous offer," Sarah replied diplomatically. "However, our protocols require us to establish communication and cultural exchange before any physical contact." There was a pause, too long to be natural. "We understand, Captain. However, we insist." The energy readings from the structure suddenly spiked. Before anyone could react, a beam of coherent energy lanced out from the station, striking the Aurora's shields with devastating precision. Alarms blared across the ship as systems began to fail. "Shields at 40%. Security Chief James Morrison shouted over the chaos. "They're targeting our propulsion systems." Sarah's training kicked in instantly. "Emergency protocols. Get us out of here. Full power to engines." But the Kraxan were faster. 3 sleek vessels emerged from behind the structure, their hulls gleaming with the same dark metal. They moved with impossible speed, surrounding the Aurora in a perfect triangle formation. "Your species has great potential," the alien voice continued, now stripped of its artificial warmth. "But you are not ready for the power you seek. We will guide your development, or end it." Sarah's mind raced. The Aurora was a science vessel, armed, yes, but not built for combat. They needed a miracle, or at least enough time to warn Earth. She caught Dr. Hassan's eye and saw the same realization there. The energy patterns they detected weren't just advanced technology. They were a trap. "All hands, prepare for emergency maneuvers," Sarah commanded, her voice steady despite the fear churning in her gut. "Transfer all power from non-essential systems to shields and engines. Rodriguez, plot us a course through their formation, the tightest needle you can thread." The Aurora's engine screamed in protest as Sarah executed her desperate plan. They would only get one chance at this. The ship dove toward the narrowest gap between two Kraxan vessels, its hull groaning under the strain of acceleration. For a moment, it seemed they might make it. Then the Kraxan ships fired in perfect synchronization. The Aurora's shields collapsed under the assault, and space itself seemed to tear around them as the alien weapons found their mark. Emergency beacon activated. Yuki shouted over the sound of failing systems. Message away. Sarah gripped her command chair as explosions rocked the ship. All hands, abandon ship, get to the escape pods. She turned to her bridge crew, pride mixing with determination in her heart. Make sure that message reaches Earth. They need to know what's coming. As the Aurora died around them, escape pods streaked away from the wreckage, carrying with them humanity's first warnings of the storm that was coming. The Kraxan ships made no move to pursue the fleeing pods, perhaps considering them beneath their notice. It would prove to be their first mistake in dealing with humanity. Among the debris of humanity's first contact, a small quantum data core continued broadcasting its warning to Earth. The message was simple but would change the course of human history. We are not alone. We are not safe. But we will not surrender. The age of human innocence in the galaxy had ended. The age of defiance was about to begin. Rising from the ashes, 6 months after the Aurora incident, the sprawling shipyards of Luna Base hummed with unprecedented activity. Where once Earth's nations had competed for dominance, now they worked as one. The wreckage of the Aurora had taught humanity harsh but valuable lessons, and the survivors' testimonies had united Earth with a singular purpose. Dr. Maya Patel stood in the observation deck of Luna Base, watching construction drones swarm around the massive framework taking shape in lunar orbit. The HSS Intrepid would be humanity's answer to the Kraxan threat, not just a warship, but a testament to human ingenuity. The quantum core integration is complete, announced her colleague, Dr. Alexander Volkov, his holographic avatar materializing beside her. The Kraxan may have superior technology, but they've never seen anything like what we're building. Maya nodded, her fingers manipulating the holographic display showing the Intrepid schematics. The ship incorporated salvage data from the Aurora's encounters, but its heart was purely human innovation. Where the Kraxan relied on brute force and advanced energy weapons, the Intrepid would use creativity and adaptability, humanity's greatest strengths. Show me the adaptive shield matrix, Maya requested. The display shifted, revealing layers of interconnected energy fields designed to learn and adapt to enemy weapons. It was her greatest contribution to the project, a defense system that grew stronger with every attack. Commander David Wilson entered the observation deck, his prosthetic leg making a soft whirring sound. One of the few Aurora survivors, he had been chosen to lead the Intrepid's crew. Dr. Patel, the Security Council is waiting for your report. They're particularly interested in the integration of the reverse-engineered Kraxan technology. Maya gathered her data tablets, but paused to look at the growing shape of the Intrepid. It's not about copying their technology, Commander. It's about understanding it and making it our own. The Kraxan think in straight lines. Attack, defend, conquer. We're building something that thinks like us. Adaptive, unpredictable, innovative. The briefing room was packed with military leaders and scientific advisors from every major nation. Admiral Helena Santos, the project's military overseer, stood at the head of the table. Dr. Patel, convince me that this ship can stand against a Kraxan fleet. Maya activated the central hologram, showing the Intrepid's unique design. The Kraxan rely on overwhelming force and technological superiority. The Intrepid turns those advantages against them. Our quantum displacement drive doesn't just move through space, it bends it. The adaptive shield matrix learns from every hit it takes. The neural-linked weapons systems respond to crew thoughts faster than any conventional interface. And the power requirements. Someone asked from the vac. That's where human creativity truly shines. Dr. Volkov interjected. We've developed a hybrid reactor that combines antimatter containment with zero-point energy extraction. The Kraxan would consider it impossible. Their rigid thinking wouldn't allow for such a combination. Commander Wilson stepped forward, his expression grave. The Aurora's loss taught us that we can't match the Kraxan ship for ship. The Intrepid isn't meant to. It's designed to be unpredictable, to fight in ways they've never imagined. Every system, every innovation is built on that principle. The room fell silent as recent sensor data appeared on the screens. More Kraxan ships had been detected at the edges of the solar system. They were coming. Admiral Santos studied the reports before addressing the room. How soon can the Intrepid be ready for launch? 3 weeks, Maya replied confidently. We've already begun crew integration training. The neural interfaces require time to synchronize with their operators, but the results exceed all expectations. 2 weeks, Commander Wilson corrected, meeting Maya's surprised look. The Kraxan won't wait for us to be fully ready. We'll train en route if we have to. The next 2 weeks passed in a blur of activity. Maya worked alongside the crew, fine-tuning systems and completing the neural interface calibrations. The Intrepid grew from a framework to a fully realized vessel, its midnight blue hull adorned with subtle geometric patterns that housed sensor arrays and energy conduits. On launch day, Maya stood on the Intrepid's bridge alongside Commander Wilson and his crew. The ship hummed with power, every system integrated through the neural network that connected crew to ship. Through the viewport, Earth hung like a blue jewel against the black of space. All stations report ready, announced Lieutenant Sarah Chen, daughter of the Aurora's captain, her hand steady on the neural interface controls. Quantum displacement drive is online. Commander Wilson took his place in the command chair, neural links activating with a soft blue glow. Send the word to all Earth stations. Operation Defiance is now active. The Intrepid will take the fight to the Kraxan. As the ship broke free from lunar orbit, Maya felt a surge of pride. The Intrepid wasn't just a vessel. It was humanity's statement to the galaxy. The Kraxan had expected to find a primitive species ripe for conquest. Instead, they would face humanity's greatest achievement, a ship that embodied the very traits that made humans unique: adaptability, creativity, and an unwavering determination to survive. The stars beckoned, and humanity's defender answered the call. The real test was about to begin. The battle for Proxima. The Proxima Centauri colony represented humanity's first step into interstellar space. Now it would become the battlefield where humanity proved its worth among the stars. 3 Kraxan warships hung in high orbit around Proxima, their dark hulls reflecting the red dwarf's angry light as they methodically bombarded the colony's defensive shields. Commander Wilson watched from the Intrepid's bridge as real-time data flowed through the neural interface. They had dropped out of quantum displacement at the system's edge, using Proxima's stellar radiation to mask their approach. Status of the colony's shields: holding at 23%, but failing fast. Lieutenant Chen reported, her neural link pulsing with data. The colonists have evacuated to the underground bunkers, but they can't hold out much longer. Dr. Maya Patel's voice came through the neural net from engineering. Commander, I've analyzed the Kraxan attack pattern. Their weapons are more advanced than what we faced at the Aurora incident. Standard shields won't hold against a direct hit. Wilson nodded, feeling the ship's systems respond to his thoughts through the neural interface. Then we won't play by their rules. Lieutenant Chen, prepare the quantum fold maneuver we practiced. Dr. Patel, route all available power to the adaptive shields. We're about to show the Kraxan something new. The Intrepid's engines pulsed silently, its hybrid reactor channeling power through systems that defied conventional physics. The ship's midnight blue hull seemed to ripple as the quantum displacement drive engaged in a way its designers hadn't originally intended. Kraxan vessels are maintaining their bombardment pattern, reported Tactical Officer Raj Kumar. They haven't detected us yet. Ready on your mark, Commander. Wilson took a deep breath, feeling the ship's readiness through the neural link. Execute quantum fold. The universe seemed to bend around the Intrepid as it enacted humanity's latest innovation in space warfare. Instead of simply moving through space, the ship created a localized fold in spacetime, simultaneously appearing at 3 different points around the Kraxan formation. Neural cannon arrays charged, Kumar announced, his voice steady despite the strain of maintaining the complex maneuver. Adaptive shields at maximum. The Kraxan ships reacted with characteristic efficiency, but their response came a fraction too late. The Intrepid's quantum fold had placed it in positions that their tactical doctrine considered impossible. Before they could adjust, the human vessel opened fire. Streams of coherent energy, guided by the crew's neural links, struck with unprecedented precision. The Intrepid's weapons weren't as powerful as the Kraxan's, but they didn't need to be. Each burst targeted specific points identified by the ship's adaptive systems, learning and adjusting with each shot. Direct hits on all targets, Kumar reported. Their shield harmonics are destabilizing. The Kraxan responded with devastating firepower, their energy weapons carving bright lines through space. But the Intrepid's adaptive shields did more than just absorb the attacks. They learned from them. Each hit made the shields stronger, their patterns shifting to counter the Kraxan weapons. Shield efficiency increasing, Maya reported through the neural net, up 15% from initial contact. The adaptive algorithms are exceeding expectations. The battle became a dance of technology and tactics. The Kraxan ships moved with perfect coordination, their attacks following battle plans refined over centuries of warfare. But the Intrepid moved like no ship they had ever encountered, its human crew using the neural interface to react with impossible speed and creativity. They're adjusting their shield frequencies, Chen warned, attempting to counter our targeting solutions. Wilson smiled grimly. Just as we expected. Dr. Patel, initiate the resonance cascade. Maya's team had prepared for this moment. The Intrepid's next volley carried a quantum signature that matched the Kraxan shield's new frequency, not to penetrate them, but to create a feedback loop. The effect cascaded through the enemy formation, temporarily disrupting their defensive systems. Shields down on the lead vessel, Kumar reported. Secondary targets showing significant disruption. All weapons, concentrated fire, Wilson commanded. Show them what humanity can do. The Intrepid's neural cannon arrays fired in perfect synchronization, guided by the combined will of its crew. The lead Kraxan ship, its shields disabled by human ingenuity, took the full force of the assault. Its hull breached in multiple locations, secondary explosions rippling along its length. The remaining Kraxan vessels attempted to regroup, but the Intrepid's quantum fold maneuver had placed them in an impossible tactical position. Their formation, designed to be impenetrable, had become a liability. Enemy vessels attempting emergency quantum jump, Chen reported. Their power signatures are destabilizing. Not this time, Wilson said firmly. Deploy quantum anchors. Another human innovation launched from the Intrepid, devices that created localized distortions in space, preventing quantum jumps. The Kraxan ships found themselves trapped, their superior technology countered by human creativity. The battle's conclusion was swift but decisive. Unable to escape, and with their tactical doctrine shattered by human unpredictability, the remaining Kraxan vessels fell to the Intrepid's coordinated assault. As the final explosion faded, silence returned to the Proxima system. Colony shields stabilizing, Chen reported. We're receiving emergency broadcasts from the surface. They're cheering, Commander. Wilson stood from his command chair, looking at the debris field that had once been 3 Kraxan warships. Send word to Earth. The Intrepid's first battle is a victory, but more importantly, send tactical data to all human colonies. The Kraxan aren't invincible. We've proved that humanity can fight back. As the Intrepid moved to assist the colony, its crew knew they had done more than win a battle. They had shown the galaxy that humanity's greatest strength wasn't its technology, but its ability to adapt, innovate, and overcome seemingly impossible odds. The message would spread quickly through Kraxan space. The humans were not to be underestimated. The war for humanity's future was just beginning, but the first crucial victory belonged to Earth. Alliance of necessity. News of the Intrepid's victory at Proxima spread through the galaxy like a shockwave. In the shadows of Kraxan dominance, other species began to whisper about the humans who had done the impossible. The HSS Intrepid was docked at Europa Station for repairs when the first diplomatic contact arrived. The vessel emerged from quantum space bearing markings unlike anything in human databases. Its crystalline hull pulsed with internal light, and its design spoke of an aesthetic entirely alien to human eyes. Commander Wilson stood in the diplomatic chamber alongside Dr. Maya Patel and Earth's hastily appointed Sino-diplomatic team. They're calling themselves the Lissari. Ambassador James Chen, Sarah's father, announced. The former diplomat had been called out of retirement following first contact. Their message indicates they've been watching us since the Aurora incident. The Lissari delegation that emerged from their ship was breathtaking. Tall, ethereal beings of crystalline flesh and flowing light, they moved with a grace that seemed to defy gravity. Their leader, who introduced herself as Meridian of Dawn, approached the human delegation with obvious curiosity. "We have watched as your species faced the Kraxan," she said, her words translated by advanced algorithms. "You achieved what we thought impossible. You made them retreat." Wilson stepped forward. "The Kraxan underestimated humanity's ability to adapt and innovate. But I suspect you didn't come all this way just to congratulate us." Meridian of Dawn's crystalline form shimmed with what might have been amusement. "Indeed. For 10,000 cycles, the Kraxan have dominated this sector of space. Many species fell before them, including my own. We adapted, survived in the shadows, but never dared to challenge their supremacy directly. Until now." Maya studied the Lissari technology with barely contained fascination. "Your quantum field manipulation is extraordinary. Why haven't you used it against the Kraxan?" "The Kraxan's strength lies not just in their technology, but in their unity of purpose," Meridian explained. "They act as one, think as one, fight as one. Those who opposed them did so alone, and fell alone. But you humans, you've shown us another way." Ambassador Chen leaned forward. "You're proposing an alliance." More than that, another Lissari, introduced as Cascade of Stars, joined the conversation. "We propose a coalition. The Kraxan's dominion spans much of the galaxy, but they have many unwilling subjects. Your victory at Proxima has inspired others to consider resistance." Over the next few days, more ships arrived at Europa Station. The Novan, silicon-based beings who had once ruled vast mining enterprises before Kraxan subjugation. The Zephyri, energy beings who existed primarily in subspace, masters of faster-than-light travel. Each brought their own stories of Kraxan oppression and their own unique technologies and knowledge. In the Intrepid's tactical center, Maya worked with representatives from each species, integrating their technologies and insights. The Kraxan's greatest weakness, she explained to Wilson, isn't in their ships or weapons. It's in their inability to conceive of different ways of thinking. They expect every species to behave according to predictable patterns, Wilson agreed, just as they do. But humanity's greatest strength is our unpredictability, Maya finished. And now we can combine that with technologies and strategies the Kraxan have never encountered. The Lissari shared their quantum field manipulation techniques, allowing the Intrepid's adaptive shields to operate on entirely new principles. The Novan provided advanced materials that could repair themselves under fire. The Zephyri taught them ways to navigate subspace that made their quantum displacement drive even more effective. But humanity's contribution went beyond technology. Your species has something we had forgotten, Meridian of Dawn told Ambassador Chen during a crucial negotiation. Hope, the belief that change is possible, the courage to stand and fight even when victory seems impossible. The coalition took shape rapidly, driven by the urgent knowledge that the Kraxan would not remain inactive for long. Human diplomatic teams worked tirelessly to bridge gaps between species that had hidden from each other for millennia. The Intrepid became a symbol of this new unity, its systems gradually incorporating technologies from all member species, guided by human innovation. The Kraxan are mobilizing, Lieutenant Chen reported during a Coalition Council meeting. Long-range sensors show their fleets gathering. They recognize the threat this alliance represents. Wilson studied the tactical displays, now enhanced by Zephyri sensor technology. They'll expect us to behave like every other rebellion they've crushed, to gather our forces for a decisive battle. Then we must do what humans do best, Ambassador Chen said with a slight smile. The unexpected. Maya worked with coalition scientists to develop new strategies that combine their various technologies in ways the Kraxan would never anticipate. The Intrepid ran combat simulations incorporating techniques from all member species, creating battle plans that defied conventional logic. As the coalition prepared for the coming conflict, Wilson found Meridian of Dawn observing Earth through Europa Station's viewport. "Does it remind you of your homeworld?" he asked. "Our world was very different," she replied. "But watching your people, how you've united not just your own species, but others in common cause, it reminds me of what we once were before the Kraxan came, perhaps of what we can be again." The Coalition's first joint fleet exercise demonstrated the potential of their combined strengths. Ships of wildly different designs and technologies moved in formations that seemed chaotic, but were carefully orchestrated. Each species contributed its unique advantages, coordinated by human tactical innovation. The Kraxan believe that victory comes from superior force applied with perfect precision. Wilson addressed the Coalition Council. "We'll show them that true strength comes from diversity, from the ability to adapt and change. They expect us to fight their way. Instead, we'll fight like humans, with creativity, unpredictability, and the combined strength of all our differences." As the Coalition prepared for war, the HSS Intrepid stood ready to lead humanity and its new allies into battle. The Kraxan had dominated the galaxy through force and fear, but they were about to face something they had never encountered before: a union of species guided by human ingenuity and hope. Triumph of humanity. The largest Kraxan fleet ever assembled filled the space around their homeworld, Kraxus Prime. 500 warships, each larger and more powerful than those that had terrorized the galaxy for millennia. Their dark hulls formed perfect geometric patterns in space, a display of overwhelming force meant to crush any resistance. Commander Wilson stood on the Intrepid's bridge, watching the tactical display updated with Zephyri sensor data. The Coalition fleet seemed tiny in comparison. Just 70 ships of various designs and origins. But numbers had never been humanity's advantage. "All Coalition ships report ready," Lieutenant Chen announced, her neural link pulsing with data from their allies. "The Lissari quantum fields are synchronized with our adaptive shields. Novan repair systems are online. Zephyri subspace corridors are mapped and ready." Dr. Maya Patel's voice came through the neural net from engineering. "The hybrid systems are performing beyond expectations, Commander. Whatever happens today, we've already proved that different species working together can achieve the impossible." The Kraxan Supreme Command transmitted their message across all frequencies. "Your rebellion ends here. Surrender now, and your species may yet survive as our subjects." Wilson shared a knowing look with Ambassador Chen, who stood ready at the diplomatic station. The ambassador opened a channel to their own fleet. "Coalition forces, execute Operation Prometheus." The battle began not with an exchange of fire, but with what appeared to be a catastrophic failure. The Intrepid and several other Coalition ships seemed to suddenly lose power, their systems going dark. The Kraxan fleet moved forward in perfect formation, ready to finish their apparently crippled opponents. "They're taking the bait," Kumar reported from Tactical. "Exactly as predicted. Their tactical doctrine requires them to press any apparent advantage immediately." The trap was sprung. As the Kraxan fleet advanced, they passed through areas of space that the Coalition had spent weeks preparing. Quantum fields, invisible to conventional sensors, activated. Subspace corridors that the Zephyri had carefully constructed began to shift. Now, Wilson commanded. The Intrepid's failed systems roared back to life, but differently than before. The hybrid reactor channeled power through systems that combined technologies from all coalition species in ways that defied conventional physics. The ship's midnight blue hull rippled with Lissari quantum fields as it executed maneuvers that should have been impossible. The coalition fleet moved as one, but not with the rigid precision of the Kraxen. Each ship operated according to its own species' strengths, creating what appeared to be chaos, but was actually a carefully orchestrated dance of different technologies and tactics. Kraxen formation is destabilizing, Chen reported. They're trying to adapt their tactics, but their command structure can't handle the uncertainty. The Intrepid led the charge, its adaptive shields now enhanced by Lissari quantum manipulation. Enemy fire that should have destroyed the ship instead strengthened it, the combined technologies learning and adapting faster than ever before. The Novan repair systems allowed them to take risks that would have been suicidal otherwise, while Zephyri subspace mastery let them appear where no ship should be able to exist. Their flagship is launching fighters, Kumar announced. Standard containment pattern. Wilson smiled. Show them our response to that tactic. All ships, execute Chaos Protocol. The coalition fleet suddenly split apart, each ship seemingly acting independently and erratically. But through their neural links, the human crews coordinated the apparent chaos. Kraxen fighters, programmed to expect and counter standard formation tactics, found themselves unable to predict or effectively target their opponents. Maya's voice came through with excitement. The hybrid systems are exceeding all safety margins, but the Novan reinforcement is holding. We can push them further. The battle transformed into something unlike anything the galaxy had seen before. Coalition ships used their combined technologies in ways that seemed to defy the laws of physics themselves. The Intrepid led them in maneuvers that appeared random but were precisely calculated to disrupt the Kraxen's perfect formations. Their command and control structure is fragmenting, Ambassador Chen reported, monitoring enemy communications. They can't maintain tactical coherence against our unpredictability. The Kraxen fleet's perfect geometric patterns began to break down. Ships designed to fight as part of a unified whole found themselves isolated and outmaneuvered by opponents that refused to follow conventional rules of space combat. The coalition forces seemed to be everywhere and nowhere, striking from impossible angles and vanishing before retaliation could be organized. Kraxen flagship is showing signs of systematic failure, Kumar announced. Their fleet command structure is collapsing. Wilson stood from his command chair. All ships, converge on their command vessel. Show them what unity really means. The coalition fleet came together in a maneuver that combined every species' strength. Lissari quantum fields merged with Zephyri subspace corridors, creating paths through spacetime that the Kraxen's sensors couldn't even detect. The Intrepid led the charge, its human crew coordinating the combined assault through their neural links. The Kraxen flagship, a behemoth of dark metal and energy weapons, found itself under attack from weapons and tactics it had no defense against. Its shields, designed to withstand conventional energy weapons, couldn't adapt to the combined technologies of multiple species working in harmony. Their primary systems are failing, Maya reported. The combined attack is overwhelming their ability to adapt. The flagship's destruction, when it came, was spectacular. But more important was the effect on the Kraxen fleet. Without their rigid command structure, the remaining ships fell into disarray. Some attempted to retreat, others fought on individually, but their strength had always been in their unity. Now that unity was shattered, incoming transmission, Chen announced. Multiple Kraxen vessels are surrendering. The bridge fell silent. In all their history, the Kraxen had never surrendered. Their doctrine didn't even have protocols for it. Ambassador Chen stepped forward. Accept their surrender. Show them that humanity's strength lies not just in our ability to fight, but in our capacity for mercy. As the coalition fleet secured their victory, Wilson looked out at the stars. Send word to Earth and all coalition worlds. The Kraxen's dominion is broken, but our real work is just beginning. The victory at Kraxos Prime marked more than the end of an empire. It proved that strength came not from technological superiority or perfect uniformity, but from the ability to adapt, to innovate, and to bring together different ways of thinking. Humanity had done more than win a war. They had changed the very nature of galactic civilization. The HSS Intrepid would go on to become a symbol of this new age, where cooperation replaced domination and diversity of thought was celebrated rather than suppressed. The ship that had begun as humanity's desperate defense became the flagship of a new galactic order, one built on the very principles that had allowed humanity to triumph: innovation, adaptation, and the strength found in unity despite differences.